Welcome to the NBTLT podcast with your guides to this magical journey, Lon and Zumi.
Welcome back to the Nothing Better to Listen to podcast, the only podcast that guarantees to eliminate erectile dysfunction.
That's right.
I'm here with my buddy Zumi. How you doing, Zumi?
I'm doing well, Lonnie. How are you?
I'm not too bad.
I had to interrupt you during our intro. It's like my thing. I'm sorry.
I think people enjoy it, and if they don't, that's their problem, I guess.
You can redo it if you want and just edit this out.
No, I think we're just gonna continue raw. So yeah, what's been going on with you this week?
Not much. Been working like crazy.
Yeah? How's that job going?
The job is going great.
It's nice to be a full-timer, huh?
It is nice. I definitely appreciate the OT.
Oh yeah. That's I do have a story about overtime, but I'll tell you in a little bit.
Yeah. No, my boss is pretty chill. He's like when I started, obviously I was getting paid less, no benefits and all that stuff.
Sure.
So he was just pretty chill. He's just like, yeah, I mean, you got anything to do? Just stay. I don't care. Like, his only condition was like, just don't stay here till like 9 at night, please. So I'm like, all right. And as soon as I got the full-time job, I asked him again. It's like, hey, what are we going to do about the OT? I mean, same rules apply, or...
Are we still cool?
Yeah, he's like, no, yeah, if you want to stay.
That's awesome.
So
they did that for a long time where I was working, and then they just all of a sudden cut the overtime. And it's been like, I think 4 months since I've done any overtime. And, it gets hard because you get so used to doing, your overtime and getting the pay that you get with doing the overtime, and so you have to like readjust things and everything. But I think we're okay now. But I was going to tell you that, just recently, I think it was yesterday. Today's Saturday, yeah. So yesterday, my supervisor, I'm talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, yeah," he goes, "You'll be coming back to the downtown facility, so he goes, we're actually gonna have a lot of overtime available." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like how much overtime?" He's like, "Hey, like 2 to 4 hours a week." And I just started laughing. I'm like, "Dude, that's not even worth it." And he's like, "Well, what do you mean that's not worth it?" I go, "It's not worth it. They're like 2 to 4 hours." I go, "I'm right at the edge of the tax bracket. So once I go to like 2 to 4, I like go over that next tax bracket. And so I'm actually making less than what I would make if I just worked normal 40-hour work weeks, And he's like, "But we have a lot of work to do." I'm like, "Great. It's not my problem." And he's like, like what would be considered a good, amount of overtime? I was like, I'm thinking like 8 to 10 hours a week, something decent, like 2 hours a night, that I would actually do that. That's good money. But no, and then I told him on top of the fact that I'm going to be going back to school, and because of the GI Bill, I get paid, basic allowance for housing. So there's really no reason for me to take any overtime, really. And he's like, "Well, we have a lot of work to do. We got to get these things done." I'm like, to be completely honest, I needed the overtime 4 months ago, and you guys cut it. And you didn't appreciate the work that all of us were doing, so you cut it. And then you act like when you give back 2 to 4 hours a week, that it's like a gift.
Yeah,
it's like
we're doing you a favor, Lonnie.
Oh, I was just talking to my dad about this. I think it might have been yesterday as well. Yeah, it was, because I was telling him about this story. And I was like, what is it that, supervisors and managers, they get off on like telling you that like it's like a favor, them giving you overtime, when in fact, once you've worked your 40 hours and you work anything beyond that, once you work your 40 hours, they have paid all of the benefits. Like they've given you your medical insurance, they've given you, your retirement and all that stuff. All that stuff is done. So the best pay that you can ever pay out to an employee is overtime, because that's straight work. That's all you're paying them. It actually comes out to less than what you would be paying with all the benefits. So when they act like it's, a gift, that's what just cracks me up. It's like, you're not doing me a favor. I'm actually doing you a favor by, staying here later on. Oh, there's Anna. Hi, Anna. But, yeah. Which, by the way, I think we've mentioned this before. That there's, Zumi and I can see each other. And one day we'll have like a little video cast up on YouTube or something like that. But I know that it's annoying to all the people out there that we try to, tell you what's going on.
It's a nice In-N-Out shirt you're wearing there, Lonnie.
It is. It is. This is the Utah one. My father-in-law gets them all for me when they travel. I miss it so bad.
Does he bring you a burger with it?
No, he's not as cool as you are. Where I love the T-shirts, I love burgers much more. Which I think we told that story last week, didn't we? Where you sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious. Oh yeah, because I had like the trench mouth infection or whatever it was, and I still ate it because it's In-N-Out. You can't just not eat In-N-Out burgers.
Yeah, you can't put it in the fridge and eat it later.
No, you got to eat it. So yeah. That's how my week was.
No, see, my OT's been pretty decent. I think this week I put like 7.5 hours.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
So, but dude, it catches up with you though. Like you think like, yeah, I'm making money, stuff like, and the thing is, I really enjoy the job. Like sometimes I'll just look at the clock and I'm like, oh shit, I should have gotten lunch like an hour ago.
For real.
And the same when I leave, but yeah, lately it's been like, oh shit, I think I'm just gonna do 8 hours and just, go home, go to bed.
Yeah.
Like an old man.
Oh yeah, it's in my last job, you remember I worked at Pratt and Whitney. It wasn't a bad place to work. I actually really enjoyed most of it, even though I was a janitor for most of the time I was there.
The people are gonna figure out that people at Pratt and Whitney are nasty.
Yeah.
Because of your janitor story.
Oh, that's okay. Because most of those people don't work there anymore. There was a lot of layoffs.
Oh, okay.
So then, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. So if you're listening, you dirty fat fucks.
Well, it wasn't
leave your
even
dildos
the
at home.
I want to get into it again, but at Pratt and Whitney, I mean, they had that was when I was living with you. You remember this?
I do.
Zumi did me a big solid when I got out of the Air Force. So a little rough on everybody, but I think I was the main culprit for most of that. But continuing on, Pratt and Whitney. When I first started working there, you remember I was working a fuck ton of overtime.
Yeah.
And Christelle and I, we had a few bills that were starting to get overdue because of the fact that I didn't have a job before that. So once I started working there, I was working like, 2 to 4 hours a night and then working on weekends and stuff. And I think we, ended up being able to pay off a lot of debt just in that first couple of months just because of the fact that I was working my ass off. But it's no joke, you work for that much time and it catches up to you. Like you'll wake up one day and go, oh my God, I think I'm dying.
Yeah, that's how I felt on Friday. And like Friday, I wasn't planning on doing any OT, but it was they call it a pay period end. So
Sure.
all of our commission only guys, like their last day to submit shit. So It's like these, if they're submitted before a certain time, they're like, yeah, they have to be done. But the thing is, like, my computer broke.
Oh, great.
Like the fucking hard drive fried, dude. Like, I had no computer for most of the day. And then I'm like, oh shit, like, am I ever be able to get my files from the desktop? And they're just looking at me like, no, man.
It's over. It's
And
over. Just let it go.
it's like, I'm like, fuck. I had a big project that I'm working on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore, dude. I gotta start from scratch. I gotta go through like
Oh,
the mailbox to like research all of the stuff that I did. And it's a shitload of stuff. And
that's hard
and
because,
then my
any of those.
my boss was just looked at me. He's like, "Well, lesson learned. Next time, just save that stuff." And I'm like, "In the shared drive," and he's like, "No, no, you should have OneDrive." And I'm like, "OneDrive? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I don't have Microsoft OneDrive. Like, can I even have that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to have a OneDrive uh, from the company. Like, the company actually has to deal with OneDrive."
Like, what is this,
And
2012?
yeah, we have like their own. I didn't have it, so I didn't know. Dude.
You motherfuckers ever heard of Dropbox?
I'm like,
Shit.
I'm like, shit. So he's like, so lesson learned. Yeah, he didn't care. He's just like, I know you're gonna fix it. And I'm like, fuck. But
When you had that kind of stuff in school, when you had like the computer shut down and you hadn't saved anything,
yeah,
or like even at work, like when you had something, that you didn't save, and then the computer just fries,
yeah, and
and then,
that's the modern. My dog ate my homework
well, yeah, but
excuse.
what I was gonna ask is like, in those situations, do you ever go back to like start the whole project over, and then you have to like keep from being lazy the next time around? Like the way you write or the way that
Yeah,
you prepare the project because you've already done it, so you're like, fuck, I don't want to go through all this shit again.
yeah.
So,
Well, well, like the Windows Excel and Word and all those, they're pretty good now at like recuperating information.
yeah,
Like back in the day, if you were saving like every hour, you had to like set a reminder. Otherwise, like that shit froze or it closed. You closed it by accident. You click no, it's like you're done.
yep. And I think Microsoft Office has gotten a lot better with that, and so is was it LibreOffice? LibreOffice is basically like the Linux version,
Yeah, I've
the
used that
open
one
source,
before.
and they've been getting a lot better with things like that. Like if you just accidentally close out the program or your computer shuts down or does a restart, you can actually start the computer back up, open it up, and it'll have it saved already because it saves like every keystroke or like
Oh, okay.
up to so many keystrokes like every 30 seconds or something, and that helps out a lot. Unless you're like a madman and you do an amazing amount of work in 30 seconds and you just lost a shit ton because
Yeah.
you're a savant on the computer.
Yeah. So so I spent the whole Friday like without a computer, and then finally when I got it, it's like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, I got an hour and a half left, and I'll be heading out. And then my boss comes and is like, hey, have you been moving stuff around? I was like, it's like no, man, I just got the computer. So so he's like, oh yeah, these need to be done. I'm like, shit. So yeah, so I'm
Brutal,
like, all
man.
right, I should be able to finish around it's like around 5:30 ish or so. It's like that's fine, I'll get them done. Dude, I didn't leave till like 6:30 ish or so.
Wow.
Yeah, because it just took forever.
It happens.
Yeah. But in other news, I see that you finally watched This Is It.
Yes, I watched This Is It. I did just add that, but I watched This Is It, the Michael Jackson documentary about that concert, his last concert, I think, right? Was what you were
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, it's like his last little like tour thingy.
That's I mean, that blew my mind. Like just seeing him that way.
Yeah.
Because you see like we've said before, I've seen the videos of him at home, and seen the, um, like interviews and stuff like that where, he's real calm and all that stuff. But gosh, I mean, I don't know if I could have that amount of patience that he has with his crew
Yeah,
and
and
people that he's never worked with before. I mean, I think his producer or whoever that was, like the director of operations, he must have worked with Michael before,
yeah,
because he knows a lot of the stuff that he wants. But it was really interesting to see because the patience that he has, is insane. You know, especially with, like I said, like the dancers and stuff and the singers that he's working with. You know, like he's just letting them do what they want, but then like after they're done, he'll be like, okay, that was great. You know, do this. You know, and he's not judging them. He's not critiquing them. He's just like, you know, this is what you need to try.
Yeah.
That was great, but let's try this. You know, and it's really cool. He's a really really good organizer. It's impressive.
I like the one where he's the guy with the piano. He's just hitting the strokes, right? And
Yeah.
he's doing the voice or singing at the same time with the piano. He's like, I don't know, you can feel it. You can feel it a little bit like deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, well, no, I'm giving the people want to hear how it sounds on the record. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. And the guy argued with him just a little
just
bit,
a little
not
bit,
much, but
and eventually he's just like, kind of like, okay, Michael.
well, what do you say? You know, I mean, you could be the best musician in the world, you know, but when, you know, a guy like Michael Jackson is telling you, no, let's do it this way, you fucking listen, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's just do it that way, you know. But he's right. I mean, you see the end product, and it's like, wow, holy shit, you know. It's like he's done this before. You know?
Yeah, so like I say, you can really appreciate that like he was trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, and he actually has
really
like
trying,
he has a real compassion towards other people, you know, and like that one girl that he was singing with, I mean, he just let her go. He's just, I mean, even though he said it himself, he shouldn't be, you know, like singing that hard, you know, in practice because he has to save his voice. You know, he just went along with it because she was on like this, you know, this special type of feeling that they were both having together as they were singing, you know. So it's like, you know, let's just go with it, you know. But it was a really good documentary. It was really fun to watch. You know, I think I was smiling the whole way through, you know, because it was just enjoyable.
Yeah, and it was like he was just like playing songs that you know he just grew up with. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and yeah. You know what I didn't enjoy, and I just found out that Lonnie watched it. So Lonnie, you gotta you gotta set the stage here for the audience that haven't heard the Dawn the Dragon Wilson movie.
Okay, right? There's this movie called Blood Fist 3 that we have talked about before on one of our previous episodes. It's with this guy named Don the Dragon, or what's his full name?
Well, they call him Don the Dragon Wilson. I
yes.
Guess Don.
Okay, so
Don
it's just
something
Don Wilson.
Yeah. So
okay.
Don the Dragon Wilson.
So he's this famous. Well, you know, he's like a B-rated type martial arts actor.
Right.
You know, he's not quite on the level of like guys like Jean-Claude Van Damme and stuff, but it's the same type of movies. You know, like the really intense and overly brutal type scenes in the movies and stuff. And speaking of that, you know, like there is this one scene that Zumi was talking about that he saw when he was a young man that I finally just decided to go and watch. And it was this scene where these guys are in prison and one of the guys gets pretty brutally raped, right? Yeah.
That's an understatement.
It's unsettling to say the least, and it still has the feel of like the 80s action movie, but like the violence of like Commando, where it's just overly violent, but it's all channeled into a rape scene, and not just any rape scene, like a prison rape scene. So there's so much bad happening, you know. And I still can't believe that you watched this when you were a kid. I mean.
Dude, like I said, it had an Asian guy in there with like martial arts.
Yep.
It looked like it was gonna be martial. We were gonna watch that fucking movie. But,
and you watched that fucking movie.
We watched that fucking movie, but that's the only scene I remember. Honest to God, like that's the only scene I remember.
Oh yeah, it's scorched on your brain now.
That traumatized me. Maybe that's why I'm like all fucked up.
Like, wait, why you have weird interests sexually and you know. why you can only get an erection in certain ways. Baby, no, you gotta throw me on top of the toilet. Hit me first as hard as you can.
And then you can pleasure me. Oh, that's nasty. But so yeah, Lonnie, thank you for sharing this traumatizing experience with me.
You're welcome.
I feel a lot closer to you now.
That's what we do. We're friends.
You know, if we ever, yeah, and if we ever stop being friends or whatever, at least we can always go back and say we have Don the Dragon Wilson.
It's like a sappy romance movie.
I know.
We once had Don the Dragon.
It was brutally violent. Yeah, but dude, can you imagine that? I said, I wasn't more than 10 years old. I can tell you that, and I've never seen a guy being like, shit. I don't think I've ever seen a porno by then, and like. You know, then all of a sudden
so you don't know what the fuck is happening, but you're like, this is all bad.
You're like, whoa.
Yeah,
what happened?
That was messed up, Zumi. Thank you for that, you know.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. And if you guys want to see it, we'll put a link. No, I'm just kidding.
Here, I'm gonna go ahead and continue the show with some happiness. I'm gonna take a shot for you, Zumi.
Thank you.
Don the Dragon.
For Don the Dragon. What are you drinking there, bud?
Something terrible.
Yeah.
Fireball.
My dad drinks that shit. It's nasty.
It's cheap.
Yeah. I'll get you drunk, though.
Yeah, eventually. It takes me a little while.
Which reminds me that I do have a story for this week. And that is that my oldest son, who's 5, he just learned to give the finger.
Like the proper use of the finger?
Yep.
Like what it's for? Not necessarily what it stands for, but what it's used for. Right?
Yeah, what it's used for, and he sure shit didn't fucking learn from me, dude.
Oh yeah, after all those cuss words you just said, there's no way. There's no way.
No, I don't.
From you.
I don't do that. I don't use that gesture. Actually, my son's really good at understanding like good words and versus bad words.
Sure.
And every time we say a curse word, he'll like when he was little, we would say like, "Hey, that's an adult word." So every time I say like a shit comes out or whatever or a fuck, he's always looking at me and says like, "Dad, that's an adult word," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I'm sorry."
You're a fucking adult, bitch. You know.
No, I always go like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Like I'm not gonna say that anymore." It's like, "Good job, buddy." So anyways, this one day, or not this one day, this last Saturday, or Sunday, it was after the podcast. We're like, just having like our normal day, and my son comes in. He just says like, "Hey, Dad, at school, my friend Adrian, puts up his finger like this," and he just fucking gives me the finger, dude. And I'm like looking at him like. And I'm looking at Anna, and Anna's just like, "Oh God."
Is she trying not to laugh?
No, she didn't try not to laugh. There was like there was a look of panic. So that told me she knew he was doing that before, or he did that before. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I'm throwing.
You didn't say that though.
No, I didn't. But internally, I did.
Okay.
So I'm like, "Hey, like, not cool. That's an adult gesture." You know how there's adult words? And he's like, yeah, it's like, that's an adult gesture. We don't do that. We don't do through the finger like that for, to people. That's bad. And he's just like, okay. It's like, and I'm like, I don't want to ever see you doing that to people again. And I look at my wife, and she gives me this look like, oh, he did that before or whatever. And I'm like, you didn't tell me.
You're like, what the hell?
And she's like, well, no, because I told him, like, I corrected it and whatever. And I'm like, well, obviously he didn't get it from you. He didn't get it from me because we don't throw the finger at people, and especially not to each other. And so I essentially, because he goes to private school, right?
Oh, great.
So I go to the principal, and I told him like, hey, my son comes in, and he says that little Adrian does this to him. Can you talk to this kid? Right?
Sure.
Yeah, and I did. They just I think they just gave me the political answer, like, oh, we'll look into it.
They gave you the
Yeah.
verbal finger.
Yeah. They gave me, yeah. So, anyways, so I'm working on Wednesday, I believe, and I get a text, and it's like, you need to talk to your son, and I'm like, holy shit, what'd he do? He's like, well, his cousin came over, and they were playing, and then your niece comes to me and says that Axel flipped her off.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh my god. And but here's the thing, I know my niece, and part of me is going like, yeah, she probably deserved it though. I actually started defending my son.
Yeah.
I'm like, she
Yeah, but
probably
it's your niece, man.
yeah. I'm like, but she probably deserved it though. But no. So yeah, we had a little talk.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those.
But I don't know. I mean, I know I can't have him in a freaking shell or in a cocoon. He has to turn into a butterfly and fly, right?
Yeah, but like we were saying last week,
I'm a peacock, Lonnie. You gotta let me fly.
Did he just call himself a peacock? With my kids, I don't know. What we have is every now and then we'll get a cuss word out of one of them, but it's easily recognized. It's you'll hear it, like they'll say shit, or I think we've heard the F word once. But Christelle and I are pretty free about what we say to each other, and sometimes we forget that they're there. But yeah, with those situations, you just tell them, and they know as soon as they say it. They're like, oh man, like
Yeah.
now I'm in trouble. But we never really like spank them for stuff like that. We never really get them into some real trouble. We just kind of tell them, like, hey, we don't say that kind of stuff. When they're probably thinking in their head like, yeah, we kind of fucking do. But it's hard. But like we said last week, it's they might end up being one of those necessary assholes.
Yeah, they might, and like I said, but my kid's he's really good at correcting people because I don't know if that's his like thing. He's just a smart ass, but like I said, he's always like, oh, Dad, like that's an adult word, isn't it? And it's like, yeah, but but
Sorry.
that's the end of it. But yeah, for the finger thing, I was just like, oh, like I I was kind of expecting it, but. Like I didn't like use the finger till I was like in junior high or something, and that was my kid. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, I heard that. It's okay.
Yeah.
We do this raw, people. We don't care if there's kids in the background.
And he does that every night. Like that's his thing. He yells and then he goes back to sleep. That's a topper.
You got one of those too?
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like somebody's like being kidnapped or something. He's just like, yeah, like whatever.
Well, I got one. Nathaniel will wake up in the middle of the night and he'll start crying, and every time it's because he has to go to the bathroom, even though he's totally capable of getting up and going by himself. No problem. I mean, the kid knows how to wipe. He knows how to pull down his pants, pull them up, all that stuff, put the toilet seat up, put it down. There's no problem, but as soon as he goes to bed, once he's in bed, for some reason, he loses all of that independence and decides, oh, I need someone to help me. But I don't know. It's interesting, like I said, like when you have multiple kids, it's weird to see like all the differences in them, because they all look alike, but they all look different. They all act alike, but they all act different.
Yeah.
It's... Have you gotten to the point where you see your parents in some of them?
Oh God, no.
Like where you see the facial expressions and stuff?
I don't know, man. I don't.
Do you feel that in your own face?
I kind of wish you would have told me that, because now I'm gonna be looking for that shit.
Have you felt that in your own face? Like
no.
when you make like a facial expression or something, you can like feel your father behind it.
No, but my brother have noticed that. Jesus. Come on, babies. But my brother has noticed that I do like certain gestures that my mom does, and I'm just like, oh my God.
You're like, shit.
Oh
Oh,
God!
there he
All
is.
right. I guess I gotta go check on him. Uh, so first break, maybe.
First break.
I'll see you in a couple seconds.
All right. And we're back.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Only
Shit
took
happens.
like a split second, right, for the editing portion of it.
Oh yeah, they had to wait a whole half second for that.
I know. Which I wrote on the set like, what if our listeners?
Yeah.
Did you ever wonder like what kind of listeners do we actually have?
Well, I know that I know some of them. I know who some of the listeners are, but on the other hand, when I look at the numbers every week, we have unique devices and unique listeners every time we record, and I don't know who the fuck those people are. But
Yeah, but what sort of demographic do you know? Like
Mexican.
Mexicans.
That's about 90%.
Oh man, that'd be so funny. But
No, I really think it is.
how would you like because we talk about doing like a live like a YouTube live eventually podcast
Yeah.
when we when we actually meet.
Are you saying we have to do subtitles?
No. What I'm saying is, like, do you ever wonder if our listeners are gonna be like, holy shit, that's how these guys look like? Like,
Oh, I know that's how they're gonna think. They're gonna think that I'm like 7 foot tall, and like I look like a game show host.
yeah,
No,
these guys,
that's wrong because I just sound like one.
these guys probably think that I look like Tyrion Lannister, but not from the show, but like how they describe him in the book. Like one black eye, one green eye. Like
You don't have
both
that?
both of them lazy eye. I'm missing half of my nose. Fucking midget.
Yeah, actually, in reality, Zumi is actually a very good-looking fellow.
Well,
At least I think so.
At least you think so, and my wife thinks it, right? Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
You never know. You never know. You might just be the cash cow.
We always make a joke, and it's like, yeah, you're only with me because of my money. She just laughs at me like, sure, definitely.
Christelle told me once that she was looking for, her knight in shining armor, and what she found was her retard in tinfoil.
That's so funny. So yeah. So I'm wondering what kind of demographic we have as far as our listeners, and I mean, God forbid they're like all white supremacists, right?
Oh,
I mean, I doubt it, but
I hope not. But you never know with the way I talk, and which I'm not, by the way. I'm not. I mean, my best friend is Mexican and Japanese, so
yeah.
Do I have a black? Oh, I do have a black friend. I don't know if you can really consider him black though. He's the whitest black man I know. Andrew, you know who you are.
I think I have a black friend now too.
You
at
think
work.
you have a black friend?
well, because I mean, the guy's cool as fuck, and we work together, and I'm pretty sure if I call him in the middle of the night and say like, dude, I'm pissed drunk, I don't know where I'm at, you come pick me up, he'll probably do me a solid. So
you also might be doing him a big responsibility right now.
Right. So, but here's the thing, like we talked about this long. We tried so freaking hard to have a black friend, and
we did. It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, and now it looks like we have like our own individual.
Oh yeah, we got our own now. I think I'm that token white guy.
You're the token
I don't think
white
I
guy.
have a token black guy. I don't think that's my accomplishment. I think Andrew has a token white guy in his group. Yeah. And you're the token Japsican.
Oh man, that's a weird combination, don't you think?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know if that's. I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this before, or at least people have caught on. I sound pretty white, but.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do.
Carla was saying for those who don't know, she's the one that made our logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was saying that you sounded like your voice sounded like a
Be nice.
like a professional like radio host.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And yeah, I didn't ask like how my voice sounded because I knew it wasn't gonna be pretty.
Oh, I love your voice. It's like sweet, sweet velvet.
You're just saying that because you know me.
Yeah, well, not both of us can be the talent, you know. Oh.
And well, see, here's the thing. Like, I'm gonna announce this right now. Like, Saturday the 18th, we're definitely not recording.
What?
Well, we're not recording. I'm baptizing my son, and we're partying it out.
So who's the godfather?
Jonathan.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, you're all the way in Washington. I don't want to hear it.
No, I don't mind. It's okay because I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, I mean, and you don't have to be.
It hurts a little, but that's okay. I'm okay.
Don't make me feel bad, Lonnie. Lonnie, you were supposed to be my firstborn godfather, and we all
I still
know how
consider.
that.
I still consider to be the godfather.
Right. So yeah, I mean,
I'm the godfather, bitch.
So yeah, so I'm not gonna, but you know, I think what we should do is you should record the podcast by yourself, like a 30-minute podcast, and see how our numbers do. And if they do better, then you know, I guess we know.
Dangerous game, Zumi.
We know the answer. From now on, it's gonna be the Lon podcast. You're gonna be like, yeah, you're fired, dude.
No, then it would be the BLT podcast. The better to listen to.
Oh shit.
Or is it B? Okay, NB. So it'd be the BTLT. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Or it could still be NBTLT because then it would be not better to listen to. Like, where's the Mexican? What the fuck?
You probably lose the Mexican audience, but you will gain the white audience, right? So
maybe I should just do like a whole like 30 minutes of like, you know, white supremacist type bullshit, and then at the end go, yeah, just kidding, fuck all of you.
But yeah, what do you think? You think you should do it?
It's a possibility. I'll think about it.
Do the podcast on your own.
We'll put a pin in it.
Like I can put a set list and say like, hey, talk about this.
Talk about this. Fucking dancing monkey. Talk about this.
and then we'll see how the numbers do. If they go well, think about it. If they drop, then that means they listen to both. I don't know.
That's hard though because our entire chemistry is what makes this.
Well, I mean, yeah, but you have I mean, stories, right?
I got stories.
when I was your age.
I don't know. I'll think about it though.
I don't know. I wanna be your Robin forever.
Yeah. But no. We've already talked about this. Which, by the way, we've discussed this. You know, Zumi, you're the director.
I'm the director.
Yes, you are.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. You're Robin.
Yeah, I'll be Robin. But like I said, I don't want to be Robin. I want to be Nightwing.
Yeah, but those guys aren't together though.
Exactly, but they work together sometimes.
Just
and
sometimes,
that's what we do.
But we not sometimes. We do it every Saturday. What the fuck are you talking about? You would be my Robin.
I don't know.
You're gonna be the female Robin though.
The female Robin? How about fuck yourself? What was her actual name? The female Robin?
I don't remember. She was just like in the Frank Miller version, I think.
Do we want to delve into nerd speak right now?
No, not really.
Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
No, I'm gonna change the subject actually.
Oh, okay.
So my anniversary is coming pretty soon.
Okay.
And I need some ideas.
Cunnilingus.
Well, I mean that's already.
Oh, that's already on the set list for anniversary. I get it. Okay. Does she know that? Or does she actually listen to the podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Then I can talk about whatever I want. Okay. So cunnilingus is on the list. Um, Gosh, it's hard to top that. Well, I guess you don't need to top that because that's like the end of the day, right?
But I'm not really good at it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like
See,
amazing at it, so
see,
no.
all you have to do. Now, this is a little trade secret of the cunnilingus
I
world.
already know it, Lonnie.
What is it?
The ABCs, right?
No, no,
Lick,
no.
lick it like you're licking
Okay.
ice cream, and do the ABCs.
Do you know the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
What
The
the
theme song?
fuck?
You know the theme song, right?
Yeah,
Do you know the entirety of it in the lyrics?
yeah.
Okay, there you go. Just repeat that.
So do I like sing into it?
Yes, but
So I'm
you
gonna
gotta be on that thing, man.
so
You know,
so
into the mic.
so if this is that thing, I won't be like, no, this is true.
There you go. There you go.
What
In
the
West
fuck?
Philadelphia. But you have to accentuate your L's, obviously, and your P's and your B's.
Lonnie, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, well we can do a different Will Smith song. Getting jiggy with it, perhaps.
Getting jiggy with it. Oh my god, that's such a bad song.
See, yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. See, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. I mean, that has
Is
everything you need.
Is that how you give cunnilingus? Lonnie,
I'm not gonna give out that information on how I do it because mine is a trade secret. You know, that's proprietary information. I can't just give that shit up.
Patent pending.
Yeah. It's trademarked.
Oh my god.
My tongue is trademarked.
Wow.
It's got a stamp on it and everything.
Guess I never told you how I met Anna, did I?
No, you didn't. You
So,
did not.
so, I'm gonna tell you a story because I asked her, it's like, hey, can I talk about like how we met in the podcast? And she's like, she's pretty like saying like, well, what are you gonna say? And I'm like, well, no, I just want to know. Just want, I want to talk about how.
Yes or no, woman?
What you thought about me initially, and she's like, oh, okay, like yeah, like it's like just don't talk about anything else. So I'm like, all right, cool. So anyways, like I had talked to one of my friends, and this is when like MSN Messenger was still on, dude. That was still like the shit.
Wow.
And for those who don't know MSN Messenger, it's the messenger that you use in Facebook now. Like before it got sold or given to Facebook or whatever, right? It was its own independent thing, and
AOL.
AOL. Oh my god!
Sorry.
by the way, did you know that the guys from the FBI got fired, or was it the CIA? Or was it the CIA one? Do you remember that story? I think it was like the CIA director and the vice director. They got fired because these assholes were sending messages using AOL.
Oh my god.
That's how they were sending their like.
Was this during the Obama administration?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay, it makes sense then. Never mind.
Fucking dummies. That's when you go. That's when you go like, yeah, man. I think you're a little bit too old. I think we need we need some new blood.
I don't want to offend anybody, but during the Obama administration, he was hiring people for these high-level jobs that were like managers at Toys R Us. So it's just saying.
That one, I thought it was fucking hilarious. It was like these dummies were using AOL.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're using MSN. I'm talking to my friend, and I'm like, hey, can you like introduce me to like somebody who's not fucking crazy?
Good luck.
And, no, that was like me like just chatting, right? Because I was still in the Air Force, and I occasionally went to Mexico to visit and whatnot. And for this time, like I was going through the divorce. Like I think I've already signed the paperwork. I was waiting on those 6 months or whatever they give you. So I'm like, I was like whoring myself out, right?
Yeah.
So he took Like I thought we were just like doing a um, just having like a fun conversation or whatever. And he actually took it to heart, and he said like, I remember this one time I'm talking to him, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to Mexico right now. He's like, no, you're staying, and I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, I got my cousin on the line. I've already talked to her about you, and she wants to talk to you. And I'm like, well, all right, well, just I'll add her. Give me her email. I'll add her, and then I'll talk to her. He's like, no, you're talking to her right now. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So he's like, you asked me to introduce you to somebody. I got you somebody. You're fucking talking to her right now. And I'm like, all right. And it's like, fuck, shit. So we started chatting, saying like the whole, and we just click. It was like, I was just like, damn, like this girl's solid, right?
She's solid.
So so anyway, I she's on vacation. She's gonna go to Rosarito, and I was like, all right, we should meet. I asked her out, and granted, I don't know half of the shit that I know now back then, and I made a mistake. I took her out for lunch.
What
right?
a queer.
I know, but here's the thing, like, my plan was like, all right, let's go. We'll go, because my ideas of a date was always like the movies, and then lunch, and then we'll see what happens, right?
Okay.
I know it's fucking rolling your eyes on me, going like, you fucking idiot. I know it worked out in the end for me, all right. I'm just telling you. So
You need to learn how to close.
I know, dude. Well, I do. I know now not to do that shit. So in case you're the one that's thinking like that, going like, yeah, that's a great idea. It wasn't, dude.
Bad
But
idea.
anyways.
Bad idea.
So anyways, I pick her up. We go to TJ, and I'm thinking, I'm like excited. I'm this pretty girl. Like, we're going on a date, air quotes date, and True Grit had just come out. The Coen Brothers True Grit.
Sure.
So I'm thinking, like, I want to take her to see a cowboy movie. and
My
we're gonna.
God.
But here's this. But I was gonna take her to the VIP cinema. This is the one that had the leather seats.
Fuck yes.
You get a waiter. You can order alcohol, and the one here in the States is completely overpriced. In Mexico, it's like a third or a fourth of the price, I think. So if you spend $20 for a ticket, down there it's like $5 or $7. So it's hella cheap for the VIP one. So I'm all excited, and I was like, yeah, I'm talking to her and stuff. And then it's like, hey, before the movie starts, do you want something to drink? And she's like, yeah. It's like, what do you want? And she's like, well, I want some Jamaica, is what they call it.
Yeah.
You know that drink, Jamaica?
Yes,
Jamaica. Anyways, so I go in and I get her a drink, and then I bring her the drink. She's like, "Where's your drink?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not thirsty. I'm good. I'm gonna wait for the theater." And all of a sudden, she just switches to like, "I don't think I want to go to the movies."
Well, should I say what I'm thinking?
Well, you can say whatever you want, because this story's gonna take a twist. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, you offer a girl a beverage, alcoholic. You know?
No, it wasn't alcoholic.
Well, okay. So you offer a girl a beverage. I mean, now, when you don't get a beverage, it's, to me, what it means is like, later on you're going to be giving her alcoholic beverages, right? Like, and girls see that as a way, like, okay, I'm going to be getting alcoholic beverages. He's not going to be drinking at all, so he's trying to drug me up, so we'll have...
No, dude. Wait, hold on. You're going
I'm just saying.
Different direction.
I'm just saying.
Like, this is before we went inside the movies.
Yeah.
And
Okay, go ahead.
this is not at the movies where they sell alcohol. This is like outside in the mall. It's just like a regular place where they sell ice cream and waters and.
Oh, I'm not saying the
Uh,
Jamaica was alcoholic. I'm just saying
oh, okay.
to them
All
it's
right.
like a precursor
Maybe, but
because
this story is not.
women are crazy and
Yeah. Well, maybe, but this story is not going that way, right?
maybe.
So, anyways, so I'm like, are you sure? Like the movie's like it's playing like in an hour, like we can chill out. And she's like, no, let's just walk around the mall. Let's talk. I was like, well, fuck. Well, part of me was like, oh, okay, well, it's a different kind of date and different kind of girl, but I really wanted to see True Grit, so I didn't get to see it that day. So I'll cut the story there because after that we went home. We actually ended up watching August Rush.
It's a decent movie.
But it wasn't in the theaters. But so we did end up watching a movie together, right? But it was in the commodity of my home, my TV. It wasn't, I didn't have no alcohol or nachos, but but it was fun. Well, later on, like after we started dating and all that stuff, like
She went
she's
out
like,
with you after that?
yeah. she's like, I got a confession to make, and she's like what? It's like, well, you remember when we went like our first date? And I'm like, yeah, I remember our first date. That was a lovely date. It's like I kind of wish you would have said yes to the theater, but maybe you didn't like cowboy movies or whatever. And she's like, oh no, it wasn't that I didn't like the movie. And I'm like, then what the fuck? So she's like, it's just that well, like when you went and get my drink, I saw you paying with a 20 peso bill.
She thought you were rich as hell.
She thought I was fucking broke as hell. She's like, I thought you didn't have any money, and you were just taking me out. You were gonna be without money like the entire week.
Like no.
So I'm like looking at her like that's why you didn't go into the movies with me. She's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck. I kind of wish I would have like paid a 11 peso drink with a 500 peso bill then.
Yeah.
Because I specifically took out like $200 just to like take you out because I was gonna do the movie. We were gonna go eat afterwards. And
Like
she's
we
like,
had all
no,
planned out and you fucked it up.
She's like, well, but I saw you paying with the 20 pesos, and I thought, like, oh god, this poor kid doesn't have any money.
This is what I mean. This is what I'm talking about, where women like extrapolate all this information from the smallest piece of information. That's what I'm saying. I'm just putting it out there.
Dude, I don't know, but this like I didn't find out about this till like later, like this. I'm saying we already have our second child, and we're talking about this shit, and she's like, yeah, I thought you were broke.
This is how they hook you, man. This is 2 kids later, 3 kids later, 4 kids later. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, what the fuck?
She's like, oh yeah, I thought you didn't have any money. That's why I didn't. I was like, how am I gonna make this guy spend? Like he's already like invited me, being nice and stuff, and I'm like, fuck.
Doesn't have a penny to his name.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah.
Oh my gosh. So she thought you were poor.
She thought I was poor. Well, not poor, but just like broke during that time.
Rich.
Yeah, not rich enough to like take her out to a VIP cinema. I guess.
Like I'm blowing my entire week pay on this.
Exactly, just to impress her, and she's kind of like, yeah, that's not necessary. Maybe I don't know.
But that's a good sign, though. I mean, that's one of those things you find out later. You're like, oh, that's cool. makes me feel a little bit better about my decision making in life, you know.
But still, dude, I didn't get to see True Grit in theaters.
I'm sorry.
I had to wait for the DVD release to come out.
Yeah, but you did get something better. I mean, you did get the relationship, so
I did, and I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that
it's a funny
it would have
story.
been nice to.
It would have been nice. Not complaining, but
definitely complaining.
Still a little sore.
And yeah, and well, the whole reason why this story came about is because we were the other day just watching regular TV, and the movie Big came out.
I love that movie.
It's such an awesome movie. She's never seen it before.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm like, well, if you haven't seen this, or it's like you might have seen this movie when you were a kid. It's like if you don't remember the scene, then I can believe you that you've never seen it.
You talking about the keyboard?
I'm talking about the keyboard.
Okay. And
they're doing the keyboard thing, and she's like, "No, I've never seen this. That's really cool." And but then I started thinking, like, dude, like, that lady technically is she technically a pedophile?
Yes.
Because...
Well, no. Okay, so let's describe the scene first. Okay, if you haven't seen the movie Big, it's about a 13-year-old boy who, well, I mean, what was it basically? Why did he want to be big?
Because he got rejected on a roller coaster ride.
Oh,
and
that's right.
He had a crush.
Lame 80s type plot.
Yeah, he had a crush on an older girl, and she was there when he got like told that you can't ride this.
That's right. That was the very beginning of the movie.
Yes.
Basically. Okay, so yeah, he makes a wish at this creepy ass machine that has like a how do you describe it? Some dude with a turban.
A gypsy. It's like a gypsy.
Okay, there you go. Like a gypsy head guy in this like arcade like looking well, not arcade. It's like older. It's like a little machine.
Yeah,
and
you put a coin and
you make a wish.
It's opening and closing its mouth. So if
and you have to like get the quarter into his mouth. And if you get it into his mouth, you get to make a wish.
Right, it throws a ticket and it says your wish has been granted.
Okay, so he makes the wish, I want to be big. So he makes that wish, he gets his little card that says your wish has been granted, and then he goes home, wakes up the next morning, and he's Tom Hanks.
Yeah, but before that he finds out that the machine was unplugged.
Oh yeah, yes.
It was like really, really creepy.
And
magic.
It should not have been working.
Right.
So goes home, wakes up, and he's an adult, basically. So he's a 13-year-old boy in Tom Hanks' body.
And he was handsome as fuck, by the way.
Yes, he was. Tom Hanks was a good-looking younger guy. So his mom obviously freaks out, thinks it's like an intruder, thinks that this is the guy that took his son, whatever. Doesn't recognize him, obviously, because he's an adult now and he used to be a 13-year-old boy. So as a 13-year-old boy, he obviously goes out there into the world, finds out he can't, do all these things that normal adults can do. So he has to kind of adapt. He has to find a job something he's good at. So he does like computer data entry, I think it was, at a toy company. And then he ends up being like the toy tester, which is a pretty cool job. I think as a 13-year-old boy, you're like, that's fucking awesome. I want to test toys for the rest of my life. But he meets this girl, or this lady, rather. I can't say girl. He meets this lady at the company that he's working at, who is an actual adult, and they start going out because he's silly. He's kind of acts childish, and, he has like a really, obviously he's 13 years old, and they kind of fall in love, and then they end up having sex. Now, you're asking, is that pedophilia? Honestly, now that I think about it, it's not. Because she sees him as an adult. He's an adult. He's in an adult's body. Everybody thinks he's like in his 20s.
Wouldn't that be the same fucking excuse that a pedophile would give me if
if I catch him? Zumi.
No, I'm just saying. Because, I mean,
If she
like,
knew, but that's the problem. That's the difference.
no, now you're saying like, well, if the girls told him and she was 18, then
Okay,
that's
but
okay. That
that's
doesn't make
really tough. It's like, okay, didn't he get his driver's license in that movie?
no,
No?
no, no driver's license.
Okay.
I just saw it too, so
Yeah, but it was back in the 80s, and like,
yeah,
if you
they
looked
made up
25, you were 25.
right, but yeah,
I mean, the guy had
I don't.
facial hair, so it's like, I don't know. He was an adult. He
See,
was working at a
see the
company.
the movie that I pictured, because I haven't seen this movie in a while. The movie that I pictured in my mind, I was like, oh, this is how I remember this movie. I think was better than the actual movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that when when he got the job as like kind of like a CEO, like because from toy tester he actually becomes like
Well, he becomes
the
like
owner of
an executive.
right. So he's like he has like his own little project, right?
Yeah.
But I thought I remember that he was at a point where he was forgetting how to be 13, and he was
Oh,
actually
yeah.
maturing into being like a fully grown man like that.
Well, that's what he told his best friend. Like, his best friend's obviously still a kid, a 13-year-old kid, and his best friend is trying to help him out. Like, he gets him a hotel room to stay at, and then he helps him out, like, trying to find an apartment and all that stuff, and trying to help him, like, find this machine so that he can become a kid again. Like the same, I think it was like a Voltar. I think that's something like that. Zoltan machine or something.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find this thing, so he's contacting companies and everything, trying to find this machine so he can become a kid again, because he finds out that being an adult is not that rad, But he ends up, becoming an adult in the metaphorical sense, throughout the movie, and it becomes frustrating for his friend because his friend is like, dude, you're 13 years old. You don't need to do all this stuff. We just need to make you a kid again. You're growing up too fast. Like, it ends up where, like, Tom Hanks, the adult version of this kid, is, telling his friend off because he has work to do, or he has this project that he has to work on. And his friend's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, we're kids. Be 13. But I think it was a metaphor for, like, how, your youth is fleeting. But now that you think back on it, you think back on that scene where it implies the sex scene. There's no sex scene, but it implies that that's what happened.
Oh no, it's pretty obvious that there was.
He touches
he's walking
her.
all like he's like high fiving everybody
yeah.
and stuff. It's pretty obvious that.
But if you really think
laid.
about it, like he's 13 years old.
Yeah, but it's kind of like the butterfly effect when he has that alternate.
I fucking hate that movie.
It's where that part where he has that alternate version where he gets gang raped in the prison.
Yep.
And then when he switches, that doesn't go away.
Yep.
So same thing. This guy or this kid has sex at 13. When he goes back to being a child, it doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So I guess I send the question again. Will it be considered pedophilia?
not on her end, because she didn't know that who he was and how old he was until later on. And I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt, saying that he was obviously an adult.
But
physically.
Okay, but here's the thing, dude. There's a line in the movie that defines that this chick was a total fucking pedophile.
Is this why this movie isn't shown on TV anymore?
Maybe. She says, well, you better, it's like 10 years. Maybe you better keep my number.
Yeah, I remember that. It was towards the very end, and she's crying.
That's just not romantic. That's just creepy.
I don't know, because that was back in the time when it was considered, like...
okay to fuck a 13-year-old boy?
For a woman. For a woman.
It probably still is, but... like...
I could get into a whole thing about that, but I'm not going to do that because it's really dark. before we get into that, I really have to take a piss. I know that last time we didn't even actually take a real break until like 20 minutes before we stopped, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go take a piss.
All right. I'll be back too then.
All right.
We'll be back in a second.
And once again, we're back. Sorry, everybody. I have been drinking a little bit of whiskey and some Coca-Cola.
You have the bladder of a 5-year-old. You can tell people. That's okay.
I can tell people that you have the bladder of a 2-year-old.
Well, I do.
And the alcohol tolerance of a no one, because no one has that small of a tolerance.
All Asian people do. Okay?
No.
No,
just
yes,
you.
They do. No,
that's weird. That's something weird that Zumi and I have. It's like total polar opposites of each other. Is Zumi has no tolerance for alcohol, and I apparently have the tolerance of Thor. You know. Oh, I'm sorry. Christelle wanted me to interject with that. I have the tolerance of Legolas, the elf.
Like the elf?
Yeah.
Like Orlando Bloom?
Yes, this is very nerd speak right now, but apparently elves in the J.R.R. Tolkien universe have an extremely high tolerance for alcohol. So, yes, that was a very nerdy thing to say.
Higher than the dwarfs?
Yes, it is much higher than the dwarves. You don't... Okay, I'm not going to get into it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to sound like a nerd.
Don't you? I mean, that's not that. It's not a secret.
Oh my God, you're such an asshole.
All right, yeah, whatever, dude. You were gonna tell me something.
What was
that?
So
are we just gonna drop the whole big pedophilia thing? I win.
Well, no. Okay, yes, you do win. That there's some amount of possible pedophilia in that movie, but it doesn't change the fact that I love that movie. And it's
I still like it.
It's not because of the pedophilia type aspect. It's because of the fact that because it relates to a lot of teenage boy type, like ideas.
Dude, I'm with you. I'd be high-fiving this 13-year-old kid if I was a teenager. I'd be like, dude.
Well, it just seems rough because I did see it when I was around that age, like for the first time. Even though I think Big may have come out like a little before I was a teenager, but I did watch it, and of course everybody's favorite scene is probably the floor keyboard scene.
Yeah.
But I really do love that movie. I mean, the movie has a lot of stuff that like you look back on and you're like, dude, that's like totally accurate. Like things that you did with your friends and stuff, and the stupid secret handshakes and songs and all that bullshit. But
which by the way, like now that you mentioned handshake, I don't know if you saw the news lately.
I don't watch the news anymore.
All right. Well, there was this one cool story that I really enjoyed. This teacher that he puts all of his students in his classroom in a single file, and he has like a special handshake for each one.
Okay.
So he'll go like pop pop pop, do like the Usain Bolt. Yeah, like the next one will be like boom over alley-oop type thing, and so like the kids just love it, right? He has one individual or one unique handshake for each individual kid.
Okay.
So he got recognized, and all the fucking kids love it. But now, it went like I guess the news went viral, and all now there's like a bunch of fucking copycat teachers like doing
Of course.
unique handshake for everybody. I'm just like, you just made like a nice unique story completely like
void.
Yeah, like now I hate it.
That's annoying.
Whatever.
Now, with this, you know what? I mean, what are we, halfway through? We're about halfway through. If you consider my pee-pee break and your kid break. Yeah, we're about halfway through. We can go ahead and get to our, once again, single mailbag question.
Man, Merca, you're messing up.
Seriously, guys. Start sending in some questions. You're starting to disappoint me. I swear, we only have one guy. Well, I guess
Yeah, we have that one guy.
and I know there's more than one of you out there. I mean, we have an audience apparently of like 60 people. You know, maybe grow a pair, type some shit out.
Like, you should just come clean, dude. You generated those, right? They're like bots.
In a way, I may have generated them, but not on purpose. Not on purpose, because it's not actually me that's asking these questions. So, okay, the question is, before we get to Christelle's, things that she wants to talk about with her schooling and all that stuff, the question is, if her birthday is, I'm assuming her is like your significant other, so you can just say, if your significant other's birthday is close to Valentine's Day, do you get 2 gifts? Now, this goes more along the lines of the things that I wanted to actually make a part of the show, like the bad advice, but I'm not going to give bad advice here. I'm going to let you answer first. If your girlfriend, wife, boyfriend, husband, whatever, if their birthday is really close to Valentine's Day, do you get them 2 gifts? One for their birthday, one for Valentine's Day. Go ahead.
Man, I'm fucking screwed then.
It depends on your financial situation.
I don't fucking no. I don't do Valentine's gifts, so maybe I'm the wrong person to ask.
Whoa. You don't do Valentine's Day?
I don't do Valentine's gifts.
I
don't do like the cheesy card or heart or all that shit, the flowers. I don't do it.
Is this not a Mexican holiday?
It is. It's not one that I
observe.
Get, Yeah, it's an observed holiday for me. I just
Where's
observe
Anna?
It from afar.
Where's Anna? This is bullshit. Where's she at? Okay, maybe I should let you two talk. Because apparently I'm in the minority here.
All right, dude, it's just that whole. It's been sold as a day where I have to like express my love. I'm like,
I understand that aspect of it. I understand that it's commercialized. It was made. I mean, Valentine's Day has nothing to do with Saint Valentine anymore. But I mean, yes, it's been an observed holiday for how long now?
Well, here's the thing. Like we get Martin Luther King. I don't go and give a fucking speech out.
Why
right?
not? I do it. No.
So Valentine, the whole thing. I don't buy into the whole like get her flower. This is the time to get her a fucking diamond.
Yeah, I don't do that,
or any phone. It's like no, I do anniversaries. I think anniversaries are, and if it happens to fall on Valentine's, can you imagine, dude, that now the fucking broad's gonna expect 3 gifts?
The broad?
The broad, yes.
That is quite possibly the most sexist thing you said on this show.
Oh, can you imagine that? Oh, it's my birthday, it's my anniversary, and it's Valentine's. So I technically get 3 gifts. And I say the broad because my ex-wife was exactly like that. So fuck
I know.
that.
I know.
Fuck that shit.
I know your ex-wife.
And if we really want to go through that like fucking rabbit hole.
Not really, but go ahead.
She chose Valentine as like the breakup date.
Oh, I know. I've heard this story. This is a good story, but we're not going to get into it because it has too much tears and pain.
So my thing is, so then it's like, okay, so Valentine is more like no, shit, dude. When was it's supposed to be friendship and love, right?
Yeah.
Well, when was the last time we called each other on Valentine's Day and said, "Hey, dude, happy Valentine's Day"?
You shouldn't have said that because I'm going to call you now. On February 14th and be like, "Happy Valentine's Day, bitch."
I'm not gonna pick up.
I'm gonna call you anyway. I'm gonna leave like a 5-minute message. Okay, well.
Well, but to answer if okay, I'm gonna. All right, I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna say.
Let's answer it like you are observing
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
No. I'm gonna answer it as if I actually celebrated Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
I'll play along. I'll pretend. And the answer is, if you want to, it depends on what you want.
What do you mean? Like what she wants or what you want?
No. What you want? What's your ultimate goal of getting 2 gifts?
Pussy.
Right. So, I think that 2 are better odds than 1.
Yes, but I mean, okay. This gets into a whole different conversation as to like, no matter whether you're in a relationship or not, now Valentine's Day has become a way to get paid sex. Right? Am I wrong?
Paid sex? Well, it's yeah.
Aren't you
I mean,
essentially
I
making your significant other into a whore?
It is. It's a bribe. I will say that most people will now use that as a bribe for sex.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to be the dick. I'm really not. But if you look at the basics of what Valentine's Day is, now I know this isn't necessarily answering the question. I'm sorry. I will get to that. But the basics of what Valentine's Day is, Valentine's Day has absolutely nothing to do with Saint Valentine anymore. So you can't use that as an excuse, ladies. Now it has become a day, a specified national holiday where you say, I get, like the man gets you a gift, you get him a gift, and in exchange for this, we both have...
It doesn't always go both ways.
No, it doesn't. I'm just being generous.
Because sometimes the gift itself is the vajayjay.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And by the way, ladies, if there's any of you out there, that's insulting. That your Valentine's Day gift would be pussy.
Yeah, I want an iPhone.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying. Even if you're broke. My
we
wife is telling me that sometimes they just don't have the money to do it, which is fine. I mean, I'm going to ask you honestly,
dude,
as a man, do you give a shit?
No.
If they have money?
Because you can do stuff like a dinner. You can maybe
give me an hour to play video games,
bake a cake, or something like that. I know you got me this for my birthday, but the gift, like the card that you guys made me.
Hell yeah!
Remember that card? I still have that card. That's like the best fucking card.
I still remember that card. That's a good card.
And
Explain that card. Explain that card.
And it's just a card. It has. I don't know who was the. I'm thinking Christelle had the creativeness behind it, right?
No,
I
don't want to sound homosexual, but you know.
So it's a Big Lebowski. I guess it's like a custom card, right?
Yes, it is.
You built it from scratch.
Yes, I did.
And it had Walter from the Big Lebowski. And when you open the card, it has the kind of like a pop-up briefcase, and inside it has the underwears, and it's like a shit stain, and it's like dirty undies. It's a reference for the Big Lebowski, and it's perfect.
This is a good card.
It's better than any Valentine's card or gift that I've ever gotten in my entire life. That card is the shit.
Now, this is what I mean, is that, okay, no matter how heartfelt the gift might be, when you as the other person in the relationship get a gift, and, oh my god, when you as the other person in the relationship get the gift, and your gift in reciprocation is sex, that's insulting. Unless you are just like dirt poor, you have no money whatsoever, and it's completely genuine, and that just ends up being part of the night. Now, if that's the gift, that's insulting. That's all I'm saying.
My husband isn't a normal man.
No, I don't. Oh, I'm not going to get into that, but you know. You know what? Maybe I should let her answer. Okay, but before I let her on, to answer the question, if her birthday is close to Valentine's Day, do you get her two gifts, one for her birthday, one for Valentine's Day? I would say yes. You know, like, just because if you observe it, if you honestly observe it, and that's something that you enjoy doing with your significant other, why not? But you can't just say, I'm getting you this gift for your birthday and Valentine's Day, because that's cheap. If you're going to do that, if you're going to say, I'm getting you one gift, then you have to do something else for the other holiday, depending on what it is.
Well, and Valentine, there's nothing set in stone that Valentine has to be like big, right?
Yeah, there's nothing. It can be
I
small.
can buy you like my friend Jonathan does this thing where like if it's a holiday like that, like Valentine, he'll show up to like his family stuff, and I'll just give you like a small chocolate, like a kiss, chocolate, and it's just it. Like he'll be like, happy Valentine's, and that's it.
Yeah.
But if you set a standard before, like in Valentine, you showed up and you gave your girl for her birthday, let's say
diamond ring,
and then for Valentine's you show up with a brand new fucking phone, dude, you're done. That is going to be expected. That's going to be
every
the standard.
Valentine's Day and every birthday. Guess what, buddy?
That's the standard. A fucking diamond or an iPhone. And then if you don't do that shit, eventually she'll come be like, well, you used to buy me stuff. You used to take me to dinner.
That brings up a good subject, because if now with birthdays and Valentine's Day and even Christmas or any other holiday where you celebrate it in a way where you have to give a gift, not necessarily have to, but that's what you enjoy doing. Anything where you give a gift, I can tell you right now that without even asking my wife, that the gift that comes from the, thinking about it and from the heart and from thinking about the things that other person likes or enjoys or needs or wants, like the meaningful gifts. You can buy the most expensive gift in the world. It will mean nothing if you were to put it next to the meaningful gift. I mean, a Lamborghini means nothing compared to that one card that makes you smile every time you look at it, right?
I don't know, Lonnie. If you give me a Lambo,
you would smile. Yeah, you would smile.
I think it'll go on top of your card, though.
Yeah, but then I'm fucked, because now I gotta get you the new Lamborghini every year.
Yeah, I'll be like, Lambo, then card, Big Lebowski card.
But what I'm saying is, like, there's hardly, is that better? There's hardly anything in this world that is going to top you getting her or him something meaningful.
Yeah. And I'll say this. If you're in that situation where your girl or your guy is, well, if a guy, they don't fucking give a shit. If it's a girl, you have that, just make the birthday gift a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Than the Valentine's gift. However, make the Valentine's gift something that you could have easily gotten some other day of the week.
Yeah. And that's I think the good thing about Valentine's Day is that Valentine's Day you can make it really, really simple and cheap.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say anything, like that you should go really cheap on Valentine's Day. I'm just saying that you maybe look at it and think about it a little bit. If you're going to celebrate Valentine's Day, then think about it.
Yeah, definitely don't like shell out $200 to like fancy restaurant and all that shit. Because then every fucking Valentine, that's what they'll be expecting.
I will say that the easiest way to do Valentine's Day is to make it like a tradition where you go out to dinner. Or, I know that's cliche, but it's like, what else are you going to do? It's a nationally recognized holiday. It's not your birthday. Everybody else is celebrating this holiday. So you might as well, anything that you can think of, somebody's already done already. So you might as well just make it like a tradition. So instead of getting her a gift, maybe say, okay, every Valentine's Day we go to a movie, then we go to this place to drive, and we sit there for a couple of hours and we talk, or we play board games for a couple of hours, and then we do this and this and this. That's your tradition. Instead of making it a gift, why not make it a tradition on Valentine's Day? And make it your own holiday. And then the birthday you get gifts. Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be better?
Well, that works.
So instead of getting her 2 gifts, if you're, I mean, whoever asked this question, I'm not going to say who, even though it's probably pretty obvious at this point. For the person that asked the question, if your significant other's birthday falls really close to Valentine's Day, try to switch it up. Say, instead of getting you jewelry this Valentine's Day, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take you here. We're going to do this. We're going to eat dinner here. And every time Valentine's Day comes up, no matter how shitty everything gets in our life, no matter how many, problems happen with us, every year, this is what we're going to do. Because we love each other, and this is what makes us happy. That's the way you can celebrate Valentine's Day, instead of saying, I'm going to give you a gift.
Or you could just not do Valentine's.
Or you could just decide that Valentine's Day is stupid and commercial, and, you could go Zumi's route.
Yeah,
which I'm not saying is a bad idea.
Just do it some other day. I mean, just a Wednesday, maybe.
Which I think Valentine's Day actually falls on this year. Actually, no. Let me take a look. Well, you were close. It's a Tuesday. It's even worse.
But now that we're kind of talking about the whole Valentine's Day, because Valentine's Day, at least I would say, at least for couples or people that have a significant other, that it's kind of like an excuse to just have crazy savage sex.
Yeah, sure, why not? But that's not a bad thing.
And it's not really not. But I mean, come on, dude. Do you really need a fucking specific day in the calendar to say, oh, maybe I should spice things up with the wife or the significant other? Come on, bro.
I would say to that, why not? But I mean, I know it's cliche and it's stupid and everything, but why not?
But anyway, since we're on kind of like the subject, let's have Christelle tell her story, and then because I got a very important question to ask.
I need you to ask her about her Valentine's Day thing, because this is, when we do our questions for the week, I do think it's important to get a, our shitty response, whether it's shitty or not, to get our response to the questions, but I do think it's important for these types of questions to get her response, because I've given my dumbass male, type of response. Let's see her type of response. So I'm going to go ahead and let Christelle answer that question. So if you can go over it, hers is probably going to be completely contradictory to mine, which is fine. That's what marriage is all about. But here, we're going to let her on. Here, hang on 1 second. She's coming.
That's what she said.
You can start talking, baby. Just go
Sup, Zumi?
There you go.
Sup?
Okay.
Sup, Stelly?
Not much. Lots of school.
So data entry.
Data entry?
Hold on. Are we doing the Valentine's question, or were you supposed? Okay. I thought you were gonna tell me about your medical data entry stuff that you were.
Oh, I was gonna do that too. But okay. So let's get to this Valentine's Day question. Here's my whole take on Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day used to be special. Growing up, it was one of those times that girls could be spoiled throughout the year, and that's what I was raised to believe. It was a girl holiday. Girls were spoiled. They got this and that, and men were supposed to spoil them. Nowadays, what I'm seeing is that it's just a day to go above and beyond what men already do for women. Valentine's Day just became a regular thing that women expected out of their men, and so now we just have give me more, give me more, give me more, the materialistic girl idea. Oh, shut up.
See that's kind of how I view it, and that's kind of what I told Lonnie. It's just that, I mean, if you really need to mark the calendar to say like this is the specific day when I want to spoil my girl or my spouse or whatever, then I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
Yep.
So, and the other thing is, well, but what do you think about the whole two gifts? Do you do two gifts, or do you just do one?
I would go along with Lonnie on that one. If if you have to do two gifts, you have to. I mean, if you're gonna celebrate Valentine's Day and her birthday, it has to be two separate things. I mean, her birthday could fall on any time of the year, and you would celebrate it differently. You
Well,
wouldn't
the question,
combine it with anything else.
the
Right. If you celebrate Valentine's Day, it should be two gifts. Because her birthday is separate and it's important, and I feel it's more important than a Valentine's Day gift.
what if it falls on the same day? Now, let's say by a strange by strange like a situation, I'm married to somebody who was born on the 14th. So do I have to go get two gifts? Like, oh, by the way, like happy birthday, happy Valentine's, or do I just go happy birthday and Valentine's?
Oh.
And I guess what will be like the line where you say like, okay, this can count as two gifts? Because I mean, come on, let's. If I give you a brand new phone, which is like, I don't know they go like for like $1,300 now.
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion is that should count for like four gifts.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm just saying it should count for her birthday, her Valentine's, and then the bride for to give me some massive head and something later that night.
I'm telling you. No, but that's the funny thing, though. Is I think a woman would look at a phone and be like, oh, a new phone. Nice, babe. Like, instead of, the cliche, like, oh my God, you bought me diamond jewelry, or, oh my God, a flower, like, huge bouquet of red roses, or whatever. I think, like, when it comes to stuff like that, we don't even think like that, and women don't think like that. I am not a typical woman, so, I celebrate my birthday and our anniversary all at the same time, and it's like one thing. But Valentine's Day.
But what do you think? Where would you draw the line though? Where would you say like, let's say worst case
Okay,
scenario,
so worst case scenario.
she's born on the 14th, and am I do I have to, or at what point do I count
Okay.
one gift as two, or
Okay.
or is it like a mandatory thing? It has to be two.
I think that totally goes into like thinking and being something from the heart. I think when it goes into that, you have to think, okay, what's my wife really gonna want? And if it's something more expensive, then you can be like, I know you really wanted this, but this is my budget and this is what I have, and like, you know what I mean? But if you do celebrate Valentine's Day, take that budget, cut it in half, get two gifts. If you don't, or if you want it all in one gift, get a more expensive gift that you know that she's gonna love, and do something like that. But do not even be like, oh yeah, here's your birthday and Valentine's Day gift just because it falls on the same day. No way. A woman will hate you for a while.
I would do that shit. I would actually say this counts as two.
You gotta tell them the story about school.
Yeah, that's just not cool.
You gotta tell them the story.
No. It's two gifts. If she's expecting two gifts, you better give her two
Okay,
gifts.
all right. How about this? How about I get her a burrito, I cut it in half, and I say Valentine's birthday.
Hey, if that's your budget and if you think she's really gonna be happy with that, go for it. If you don't want her to talk to you for a month, don't do it.
Probably sleep with the dog outside, right?
Literally in the doghouse.
All right, people, we'll let you go. I guess I'm alone on this one.
Okay, so anyways, going back to my school stuff, we are learning about the urinary system and the male reproductive system.
Hell yeah.
And we have to
Happiness.
Anyways, and this is a women full or a class full of women, right? And so we have to post these discussion posts of, the teacher asks a question and then we have to respond with our own original answer with, whether we researched it or whatever. And the question asked was to pick a structure of the male reproductive system and describe its purpose. And these women, 99% of them have the prostate gland. There's like 20 different things going on down there, and they've all got the prostate gland or the epididymis. And if you don't know it, Google it. Anyways, but I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. So I chose the corpus cavernosus, which is the spongy material on the penis that allows for erection,
I am familiar with that one.
But nobody wants to go there. Like, it is so funny. Nobody wants to go into the sexual aspect of the male reproductions. We are talking about male reproductive system here. And
yeah, but to their defense, the prostate gland. That's supposed to be the man's G spot. So maybe they were thinking.
This is what I'm thinking. They're thinking because there's only a few of us that are seasoned. Like, there's only a few of us that are 30 or older. Like,
okay.
The rest of them are.
They're seasoned.
Yeah. The rest of them are pretty young.
the other ones don't even know how to stroke it well.
Exactly. They haven't been around the block enough time.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, so I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So it's funny to see my teacher's responses to their discussion post because it's like, okay, yeah, and then she goes into there a little bit deeper. What does this have to do with the sexual part of it? What happens during intercourse? Because everybody just wants to break it down in the scientific way, like as a simple basic thing, but they don't want to go anywhere near sex. Like, oh God, sex is wrong. She just, and then the question she asks me is not even like related to the specific part. She's like, okay, so what happens during the male or reproductive system when, during intercourse, and and how does this change, things of their process or whatever? And I'm just like, now we're getting somewhere. Like, now I'm not afraid to, like, talk about this because everybody else is just like, oh my God, do I talk about sex? Oh my God. Anyways, I just thought it was really funny.
I still can't get over the whole seasons.
Sorry. No, we're most of us have like the older women have like 3 and 4 kids, and we're in school, and we're married. We've been married for a long time, but the rest of them are like 18, 20, 19. And they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to go there.
Well, I thought they kind of went there with like the prostate. Like, yeah, let's get that.
No, but they
one.
didn't. But that's the thing is, they didn't even say anything about it sexually. Like,
no, they just picked one and they just went like, yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that's the easiest one to talk about.
Well, and the majority of them didn't even have the fact that it actually produces fluids for the semen.
Right.
Like, the rest of them are just like, oh, it's there. This is what it does. Like, it just surrounds the urethra. Not
now, is this a female teacher that you have that started this?
Yeah. Yeah, most teachers.
But she's wild in the sack. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. She's older, obviously. She's got like.
Well, she's been around
masters and all that stuff. Obviously.
Oh, that's funny. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next question, and I'll actually ask you first.
Okay.
Because I know Wally's gonna have a kind of like a retarded answer, but
probably.
So my question is, how do women know when to give head? Like, what's the underlying, like, when they go like, all right, I'm gonna give you some massive, like some massive Hummer. You deserve it.
Oh my gosh. Ah,
I know it's a tough one, ain't it?
honestly, if you're talking like a woman being married to a man, that's kind of an easy one. A woman who's being promiscuous, I wouldn't know. Like, how do you know? I mean, would a man really be opposed to you ever doing that? I mean, once you know that you're kind of
No, I mean, I think I speak for all men when I say if she's willing, I'm not gonna say, oh, ew, yucky, no.
right.
I mean, maybe there's like that 0.01%, but you know, but how do women like decide like, oh yeah, like yeah, I'm gonna like tonight I'm gonna blow you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it really just comes in the heat of the moment.
The hell are you guys talking
I don't know how women feel. Most women, because I'm not most women.
Of course you're not.
But I kind of like doing it, so I like to do it. And it just happens. But it's not like a premeditated thing, and it's not like...
I like plan it out.
Are you guys really on that question?
Yeah. It's not like I go up to him in the morning and be like, you, me, head, tonight. Like,
Tonight.
no.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, I'll get Lonnie's take on it.
Okay.
I'm coming. Here I am. Hold on. Okay. You really asking my wife about the head question?
I do. How do women know when to give head?
You son of a bitch.
She just said. I don't know. She gave me the standard political answer,
Bullshit.
which you know. But you know, I told her like I think I speak for old man.
Don't do that.
Except maybe that 0.01% that are kind of weird. But if a girl comes in and says, "Yeah, like pull down your pants, I'm gonna give you some massive Hummer," you're not gonna go like, "Ooh, no, yucky, I don't want that," right?
It, for the most part, yes, about 99% of the time.
But I don't know. I can't figure it out, man. I can't figure it out. How is it that women think that, or how do they decide that it's that you know tonight's the night you're gonna get your ballsack licked?
I
So if anybody out there has any advice, yes.
honestly, we're just throwing shit out there and hoping that you guys write into the show. You know, so, yeah. I mean, that's basically it.
All right, so that was a stupid question, but all right, let's get to important business here, but Lonnie.
Okay.
We got 2 segments that we need to get out of the way.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead, director.
So I saw this video, dude, in YouTube, and I already sent you a link, right?
Yes.
And are we gonna put a link at the end of this, or at least the audio?
Yes, I will put it up. Let me make sure that I have. Okay, yeah, I have the link. I'll put it into the show notes there, and it'll be in the description for the podcast. Oh, excuse me. I'll also post it up on YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, all of our social media stuff, so that people can see what I'm actually looking at that you forced me to watch.
I did force you to watch. Well,
required viewing.
I don't think it was as intense as the Armageddon video.
Yeah, well, it's...
But it was dude. When I saw it, I was just laughing so fucking hard that I couldn't resist myself.
Well, I'll just put it out there that this video is not a unique video.
No, it really isn't. It's one of those like instant karma.
Oh God, I love that shit.
But at the same time, it's just people being stupid.
Yeah.
So
do you want me to describe it?
Yeah, you can
Okay,
do the honors, Lonnie.
basically what happens is you don't see what happens before, and that's actually something that I want to talk to you about. You don't see what happens before, but there's two. Well, I guess there's three, rather. There's three people that are. Well, no, there's four, huh? Isn't there?
Four. Yeah,
Okay, so
there's the
there's
lady.
four people involved, and basically there's two black guys in a car behind this truck that inside of that truck there's a white guy and his wife who's also white. I don't know why we're going with colors here, but we're
and
going to go
and,
with it.
and and these motherfuckers are big. I mean,
Yeah, they're
they're
big
from
dudes.
Texas.
They're big dudes.
They're Texas dudes. So they're like overweight.
Yeah.
They're big. They're thick.
Well, basically everybody on the video is a big person. Everything's big in Texas.
You can say fat.
So the man and his wife are in the truck in front of these other two gentlemen that are in the car behind them. And they look like they're at a stoplight. And it doesn't show what happens before, but there's an argument ensuing in the very beginning of the video where there's two black guys and they basically gang up on the white guy and start throwing punches at him, right? And he's trying to defend himself, and the wife of the white guy gets involved, and she's trying to separate it. Like, she's screaming and crying, yelling at them
You
to
gotta tell
stop.
them what she's just screaming, stop!
Yeah, well, she's basically just yelling stop, and she's getting hit because she's getting in between the scuffle, so she's getting hit. Now, it's not real hard hits. Now, this is something that I don't understand with all these videos. Is like, most of the videos that I see that are like instant karma, nobody knows how to throw a punch. They're all just like swinging like these weird, awkward haymakers, that aren't even fast, not powerful. They're just like, and which surprises me because for the most part, I thought that black guys knew how to fight. Like that was one of their their things. But apparently not.
I think we're gonna lose our black friends.
That's okay. That's okay. Well, I'm trying to give you guys, an up and saying that there's some people in Texas that just don't know how to fight, even if they're black. So
man.
so they're just swinging punches, and this woman, the wife, she gets in the middle of it, so she's getting hit too. And I don't think it was on purpose on the other guy's fault. I don't think they were trying to hit her. She's just like stepping in front of it. So it basically ends and like, it gets separated because the wife does get involved and the guys don't want to hit her. So the man and wife, they get back in their truck and the black guys get back in their car. As soon as the man gets into the truck with his wife, he decides, well, fuck this, and he backs into these guys' car, and pretty hard, I might say. Like, so hard that he basically almost rips the bumper off of the car entirely, and then he just takes off and drives away.
It just peels it off. I'm out of here.
So what... With these videos, the thing that I love about these videos is there's always like a little like, yeah, fuck, that was fucking awesome. That guy got his and he got the last laugh. The thing that bothers me is that I don't see what happened because I don't know if that guy was justified in what he was doing.
Well, even if he was justified, I mean,
they were ganging up on him 2-1, and accidentally, I might add. So I'm not going to hold that to him hitting his wife.
Yeah.
But it is sweet.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was fucking hilarious. I was laughing so hard, and I was like, she's doing stop.
And they probably don't have insurance.
Please stop.
I'm not saying that because they're black guys. I'm just saying that because it looks like it's Texas.
When you look at this fat guy, he's trying to do like that maneuver that Brad Pitt does in Troy, where he like jumps and he's like,
he does like
jumps,
the scorpion stab.
Yeah, he does like a jump punch, and it looks so funny to see a fat guy trying to do that.
That's basically like the equivalent of a nerd trying to do like Goku, like going Super Saiyan or something.
Oh my god, that shit was so funny.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty messed up. But at the end, kind of like the guy got the last laugh, right? He
Yeah, for the
pretty
most
much
part.
destroyed that little fucking car.
Yeah, and it didn't do
And
anything to his truck. I mean,
he just peels off and it's like fuck it. so so uh so that'll be at the link. Right,
yeah,
we'll have a link for it.
I'll put it in the link. I'll put it up on the social media. It's a good one to watch, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones out there. We should look up some more of this stuff because I enjoy this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, I told you before the podcast started.
This one just appeared in Facebook, so I just happened to click on it. I'm like, oh, this needs to go.
Oh yeah, sometimes Facebook will give you little gems. Like somebody will find something, but yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff.
So if the link doesn't work, you can Google black guys beat up white husband and wife in road rage incident gone wrong, Houston, Texas.
Well, where are we at right now on the recording? I mean, we're probably we're
We're
getting
almost,
close.
I think we're about done, but we have to talk about tomorrow.
Oh
Right?
yes, tomorrow's
We have to-
important for me. It might not be as important for you, but it is important for me. Or you could say like the way that I've been pissing off my coworkers.
Well, it's important for me now because I have money into this game.
What?
I have money in this game.
Oh, I'm hoping that you bet the correct way.
Well, no, I couldn't. We did squares.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
you can't do that for the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, but it was it. But I got really good numbers.
Okay,
So I got
okay.
so on my bracket I got 3-3, right? That's
Yeah.
a good number. And then I have I think it was 5 and 6,
Yeah.
and then the other two it's 4 and something else. I don't remember. There was only one that I at least I didn't get the 2-2, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a horrible one to get.
Yes, it is.
I didn't get that, but the other one, I can't remember the other one, and I forgot my print sheet at work.
Okay.
But
So I'll
but I
ask
think-
you.
but I think I have a good chance at winning something.
So okay. So tomorrow is obviously the Super Bowl, and once again, my New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl. Yes, my New England Patriots. I own them. Yeah. No, but this is something that happens to fans. Like they get so in depth with it that they start like talking like, saying, "Oh, we were at practice today," or "We did this," and they start acting like it's they're part of the team. I've come to that point, but all that fan stuff aside, I'm going to ask you, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl, the Falcons or the Patriots? Or the Falcons or the Patriots?
I actually thought about this. I think the Patriots are gonna win,
And why is
but
that?
I'm gonna root for the Falcons though.
Okay, you and like 98% of the country.
Just and it's just to piss you off. It
It won't piss me off.
It really has nothing to do with me saying, "Oh, their defense looks good, their offense looks like the fucking quarterback's gonna he blah 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 blah." No, it has nothing to do. It's just to piss you off.
Okay, but
I think the Patriots are gonna win because they have the experience. I think they have a better offense, and
you think they have a better
quarterback-
offense. Okay.
I actually do think they have a better offense, and their quarterback does not. Or Tom Brady is a clutch player,
Absolutely.
which is what the Falcons don't have.
Okay.
So I think maybe 1 or 2 sacks to the Falcons and an interception, and he's done, dude.
Okay. So this is the way I look at it. We're gonna get into a little bit of football talk, but I'm not gonna get into it much because most people are just not gonna enjoy this at all.
Right, and this is not your football podcast.
No, this is not. Which I actually don't host all the time. I just do that occasionally. So with this game, now this has happened before. I don't know if many people know. This has happened many times before. It happened to the Panthers last year. For recency, the Panthers last year had a really good offense and a pretty good defense, right? And everybody was, talking about the Panthers, how great they're going to do, how well they're going to do against the Broncos defense, which, in my opinion, last year, the Broncos had an all-world defense, like probably competing against like the Steelers defense of the 70s. Just really, really good, right? But it happens all the time. Like, it's happened many times in the Super Bowl era where you have some offense that's really good, and the sports media cannot stop talking about how good this offense is. That's who the Falcons are this year. The problem is that the Falcons are very new to this experience. And anybody that wants to bag on that type of comment, like saying like, oh, well, playoff experience doesn't mean much and all that stuff. I'm telling you right now, playoff experience means a lot. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens in those games. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of emotion that goes into those games. And that is the difference between Peyton Manning, who sucked last year, being able to complete passes in the Super Bowl and still win the game no matter how much he sucked, but it was because of his experience in that type of scenario, as opposed to a brand new team to it who hasn't been to the Super Bowl in a long fucking time. And this is who the Falcons are this year. It's going to be the team that everybody's talking about. They're going to be the ones to unseat the Patriots. And as much as most of you are probably sick and tired of hearing about the Patriots, I'm sorry to tell you, Tom Brady's just better. As much as you want to say about Bill Belichick, the Patriots, about the cheating, all that stuff like that, which I think is absolute bullshit, I'm sorry. I just don't see how the Falcons can win this game. And so my score prediction for that game is going to be, I'd say 34 to 20 Patriots. I think it'll be a tough game in the beginning, and it just, after that, the second half, it won't even be fair. Just saying. And I don't know if you know who Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Falcons. Do you know who he was a coordinator for?
No.
The Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, God.
Now, what happened to the Seattle Seahawks a couple of years ago?
Run the fucking ball!
Exactly. Now, that was Darrell Bevel. He was the offensive coordinator that basically called that play. I mean, it was Pete Carroll's final decision, but I mean, their defense, the Falcons' defense, is the exact same. It's like a carbon copy of this Seattle Seahawks defense. However, the Falcons' defense is terrible. Now, you're telling me that do you have any confidence in even a mediocre defense going up against Tom Brady? I mean, seriously.
Not really, no.
Yeah. Patriots win this game.
And like I said, and that's why I picked Patriots to win. But
Yep.
Like I said, I'm rooting for the Falcons just to piss you off, not necessarily because I think we got to make this interesting, right? I can't just go like, oh yeah, Patriots, yeah, we wouldn't have anything to talk about. So
well, and here's the other thing I want to say though is that I have nothing against the Falcons. This is one of those weird Super Bowls where I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the other team. Being a Patriots fan, you have a lot of enemies, obviously. But with this team, I have nothing against the Falcons. I think the Falcons are a really good team. Matt Ryan just got the MVP award, which I think he deserves. I think he was much better than Tom Brady this year with his numbers.
right.
But I still don't think that's going to win you a Super Bowl. And the fact that the MVP hasn't won the Super Bowl in, I think it's over 50 years now.
Jesus.
Yeah. So even when Tom Brady got it, was it 2 times? Didn't win the Super Bowl. So, just saying.
So when you get MVP, are you pretty much like it's kind of like your sentence saying like, "Hey,
It
this is you.
is.
Don't feel bad award or don't feel bad that you didn't win the Super Bowl award."
Well, I mean, it's basically down to this. Like, where as a Patriots fan, like Patriots fans have come to acknowledge the fact that the regular season MVP means nothing.
Right.
However, it's a very, very high honor, but it means nothing if you don't win the Super Bowl, right? Cam Newton won it last year, and look what happened to him.
Yeah.
But I think that guys like Matt Ryan, he deserves it this year. He played very well. It just doesn't matter. I'm sorry. What would you rather have? The regular season MVP or the Super Bowl MVP? So
Well, I think I talked to you about this last time. It goes down to like the whole like I mean, when it comes to picking up team, do you want to pick a giant or do you want to pick a giant slayer?
yep. And it's
Right?
I understand that completely, and I understand why most of the country, and like I said, like 98% of the country is rooting against the Patriots.
Yeah, they everybody likes the underdog, right? The
Yep,
underdog story.
and like I've said
Giant
before, it's
slayers.
I've been there. I've been in the position where I was hating on the Jets because they had Joe Namath. And that was it. That was the only reason I hated the Jets is because they had Joe Namath, or I hated the Raiders because they were so good back then. I mean, they're good now, but everybody hates the winners, especially
Yeah.
in sports like football, because football has those very little amount of games, and it's one of the biggest stages of the world, so it's easy to hate on the winning team. So, but it's okay. One day, probably in the next couple of years, the Patriots are going to suck ass again. They'll be just like the Browns, and everybody can shut the hell up, and maybe 50 years from now, or after I'm long dead, they'll be good again. But maybe not the Browns. The Browns. I hope that the Browns make it one day, but I just don't see it happening. But you know, it's one of those things. I'm okay with people hating on me just because I'm a fan of the Patriots. That's fine. But just remember the fact that I was a fan long before they were good. This is just, I'm spoiled now. But you were a fan of the Chargers when they were good too, and you were a fan when they were bad.
Were they ever good?
Yes, they were. At one time, they were very, very good.
I don't think I was born yet.
But yeah, that'll be happening tomorrow. So the next time we talk, I'll be talking to you as a fan of a 5 Super Bowl winning championship team. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Unless the Patriots have a really, really bad day tomorrow.
And they could.
It could happen. But that's one of those things, like I said, I've been telling Christelle about, is that if the Patriots lose this one, it just won't hurt as much. Like, say, losing to the Giants or something.
Yeah.
It'll be like, we made it. We did our,
Yeah.
they did their best, and, no big deal. There's always next year. But,
Well, although I kind of want Brady to have his 5th ring.
Yeah, I want him to take that Lombardi from Goodell.
Yeah, that way he can be the Lord of the Rings.
Yep. And he would have the most of any quarterback of all time. Right now he's tied with Joe Montana.
So be nice. Be cool. I hope you get it, Lonnie.
I hope so too. Me alone.
We won. It's like, the team won.
You watched the game, asshole. You didn't do anything.
And I hope I get a 3-3 score digit.
Watch it end up being like triple overtime tomorrow.
I know. Well, the fourth quarter, the one that pays the most, pays 500. First quarter pays 100, second 300, third 100, and then the fourth quarter is 500.
Well, let me ask you, as a, like, kind of, a occasional watcher of football. Not really into it as much as I am, obviously. But let me ask you, as one of those types of, football viewers, how confident are you that the Patriots are going to win this one?
Um, shit. Like percentage wise?
Yeah. Out of 100, how much do you give the Patriots? 60,
Um,
70?
no, I think I give him. I'll put him in the high 80s actually.
Really? Wow. I
Yeah,
don't
because
even give him that much.
you don't even give him that much.
Nope, as much as I love my team, I give him around 65 to 70.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
Because
you're
Atlanta's
a
so
shitty
good.
fan.
No, I'm just a realistic fan.
No, I think the Patriots are gonna win. Like I said, I'll root for the Falcons, but dude, that's like I said that's just my rooting for the underdog
Oh, yeah.
culture mentality.
I get it.
But it's like I say, Giant versus Giant Slayer. The Giant usually wins. You know,
Yeah.
that Jack and the Beanstalk story, fucking full of shit, dude.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, so yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that I would tell the audience to send their predictions, but can't do that because it's tomorrow.
Yep, it's tomorrow.
So next time we talk, we'll have a new.
And I'll be ecstatic.
He'll have a week for it to sink in. Either way,
Yep.
right? So yeah.
Well, did you want to call it there?
Yeah, let's call it there. Send in your questions, bastards.
Well, I can do the end credits. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Did you want to do your beatboxing this week?
No, I'm not gonna. That was like that was like an like spontaneous, like, you know.
But it was so much fun.
Maybe when you read like the first sentence, like I'll try and trail and
You give a shout out type remix
no,
type thing?
no, I'm gonna translate it in Spanish.
Okay, here. This is what I'm gonna do. This week we're gonna go ahead and read the first sentence, which is actually a long sentence.
It is pretty long.
We're gonna read it anyway. You ready, Zumi? And then
I'm ready.
After I'm done with the first sentence.
No. I'm just gonna go. I'm on a trail.
Okay, here we go. This episode of the Nothing Better to Listen to podcast.
Hold on, you went too fast.
Okay,
restart.
Ready. This episode of the Nothing Better to Listen to podcast can be downloaded on iTunes or the Google Play Store.
La tienda Google.
And be sure to leave us a review if you enjoyed the episode.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm sorry. Our bumper music is provided by bensound.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook, talk to us on Twitter at NBTLT Podcast. And you can always send us an email with your questions or comments at nbtltpodcast@gmail.com. And you guys really need to start sending in questions so we can have some more content.
So are we're in iTunes, Google Play Store, and we're still in Shout Engine, right?
Yes. Oh, and yes, we're still in Shout Engine. You can go to shoutengine.com to find our episodes directly because that's who hosts us right now. And actually, they're a pretty good host. I mean, I haven't had any problems with them so far. They give me good analytics. They give me pretty much everything I need. And I actually enjoy going to their website because it's really user-friendly. I know I'm totally doing like an ad right now for Sound Engine. But honestly, I mean, I actually really enjoy their website.
If you want to donate to this podcast.
No, we're not quite there yet.
It's like all of a sudden, if you wanna, it's like donate to the Make Lon and Zumi Rich Foundation.
Bill Gates, I'm looking at you.
All right.
And you know how much you'd freak out if you looked at your bank account tomorrow morning and you saw like $1 billion or something. Be like, oh shit, I didn't actually mean it. You know?
I'd be like, how much am I gonna have to pay this in taxes?
Be like, do I have to tell Lonnie about this?
Just
No.
take it all out, move it to Mexico. Be like,
No.
Lonnie, we're sad, dude. Let's
Zumi
go.
and I agreed that before we even started this podcast that like a what would you like a weird no, not even that, like a gay couple that has a palimony agreement, everything would be 50-50. So Zumi and I, like gay lovers, do everything 50-50, so he wouldn't screw me because I trust him.
No gay sex.
Are you sure? What about that one time?
Well,
Oh, we don't
I
talk
mean,
about that shit. I'm sorry.
we were just treating for hypothermia, right?
Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. Just because we enjoyed it doesn't mean anything different,
Right. It's not like, not like we both liked it.
Yeah, not like that at all. Anyway.
All right, people. Take care.
All right, have a good one. We'll talk to you all next week.